If you find yourself unable to stop thinking about a certain person, if their image returns to you like an echo that refuses to stay quiet, or if the memory of their voice shows up even when the world around you is silent, then listen closely, because this is the first and most vital thing you should understand. You are not losing your mind. It is highly likely that you have been battling your own thoughts for days, weeks, or even months, trying to make sense of what you feel. You might seek a way out through work, music, or the company of others, only to discover at the end of the day that their presence remains within you, steady and persistent. Human logic, which always looks for a clear reason for everything, has probably told you to quit, that it is time to move forward, and that what you are going through is just an obsession or a personal flaw. Perhaps you have been hard on yourself, thinking it was only emotional need or a failure to let go of what used to be. But your heart, that inner guide that knows truths your mind ignores, is telling you that something much bigger is taking place. This is not a sign of weakness, and above all, it is not a random event. What you are feeling is a signal, an urgent message from your soul trying to explain a basic truth about energy. There is a bond here that is still alive, feelings that still breathe, and a tie that ignores the rules of time and space. When someone lives so deeply in your spirit, when your thoughts spin around this person over and over without your conscious choice, something hidden is happening on an energetic level. You must realize that thoughts are not just empty pictures floating in your head. Thoughts are real, solid energy, an active power that, when it is honest and strong, stops at nothing and can move through physical space to find its goal. Think for a moment that your mind works like a radio. A radio does not create the music it plays. It simply picks up a frequency that is already moving through the air. In the same way, your mind is not just making up memories. It is actively picking up a specific frequency. If this song, the very essence of this person, keeps playing inside you even after you have tried to turn off the device, it is because the signal from the other side is still being sent. This person, even if they seem like they do not care, even if the physical gap is wide or there is no clear contact, is still sending a signal that your energetic system picks up. This event goes way beyond simple missing. It is a quiet talk between two deep minds that have not cut the string connecting them. Your soul tells you that the bond is real. But the way society has taught us to look at relationships makes us doubt what we feel. We were told that someone has moved on if we do not see a text on our screen. But energy never tells a lie. It is faster and more accurate than any human tool. If you feel this presence, it is because the energetic tie is still working. Yet to stop hurting and start learning, you must learn to tell the difference between your own imagination and a true mental call. There are facts, very clear signs that separate your own wishes from real energetic power. And the first of these signs is so powerful that it usually shows up at times when you least expect to think of someone. It totally breaks into your daily routine and focus. If you are ready to bring this lesson into your life, write in the comments, "I accept the message." To truly know if you are receiving a mental call from this person, we must look at the exact way you think. Not all memories are the same. There is a huge difference between actively thinking of someone because you miss them and the sudden arrival of the thought of that person into your mind without you doing anything. The first strange sign proving that this person is calling you with their mind is called the intrusion of thought without a cause. This is a process that follows a very specific path and that you can check yourself with a simple test. Let us look at how the energy of thought works. Every time you hold a mental picture of someone with strong emotion, you turn on a powerful radio wave. When that person thinks of you, they send out this same wave. But the amazing part is the road this energy takes. This thought moves through walls and over miles, totally going around your logical defense systems. It does not reach your awareness in a neat way. It does not ask for a chance to enter, and it does not knock on the door. This message avoids logic and goes straight to the recording machine of your soul, your subconscious. The subconscious is the most hidden and open part of who you are. When the other person's signal lands there, it shows up as a sudden memory, like a flash of light that crosses your mind without any warning. Here comes the switch test. This is the best tool to check this experience. To find out if it is a real sign, you must look at the situation where the thought appears. If you are bored, feeling low, looking at old pictures, or listening to sad music, it is very likely that you are creating this memory yourself through your own wants. The true mental message, however, happens when your mental switch for that person is turned off. That is, in moments when you are totally busy with normal things, working, hard on a task, driving and watching traffic, or in the middle of a fun talk with friends that has nothing to do with romance. Exactly then, when your conscious mind is busy and nothing around you reminds you of that person, suddenly their face, their name, or something they said hits you like a sudden bolt of lightning. That is a mental intrusion. You did not call for this memory. You did not look for it. It simply showed up and stopped your normal flow of thought. This happens because at that moment you were distracted and your logical walls were down for a second, allowing that person's energetic message to enter your system directly. It is the way your deep mind handles the signal it received. This kind of sudden thought feels different. It is not heavy or stuck like the repeating thoughts you make yourself, but it feels electric, fast, and sometimes confusing. You might be picking out fruit in the store, and suddenly out of nowhere you feel the strong sense of their presence. This gap between what you are doing and what you are feeling is proof that the start of the thought is not inside you, but outside. It is like a phone alert from your soul, telling you that at that very second, somewhere else, someone is pointing their energy at you so strongly that it moves into your current world. Also, this happens more often at certain times when brain waves change, such as when you wake up or just before you drift off to sleep. Sometimes it happens all on its own. You open your eyes in the morning, and before you remember what day it is or what you have to do, their face shows up before your inner eyes. Or at night when the sounds of the world go quiet, their image comes back like a visitor you cannot avoid. That is not a coincidence. In these middle stages between being awake and asleep, your logical mind, the one that tells you to forget, is not as active. You are more open and act like a clearer antenna. When this person thinks of you, your inner receiver grabs the message very clearly in these quiet moments. It is important to know that this sudden thought is not a break in your system and not a step backward in your healing. Instead, it is proof that the hidden thread connecting two minds is still sending data. This person, even if their pride or fear stops them from reaching out in the physical world, sends their energy to you. Their soul calls to you through the most direct path there is, and this mental call is only the start, because when the energy is strong enough, it is not happy staying only in your mind. It starts to move down into the body, turning into physical feelings and emotions that can change your mood in seconds. This leads us to the second strange sign. Your own heart starts to act like a mirror for the feelings of someone else. We have already noted that your mind works like a radio that gets thoughts. But the link between two people who have shared a deep bond goes way beyond ideas or mental pictures. There is a higher level of talking that is purely emotional, and it represents the second basic truth of this event. When two people have been linked through love, friendship, or a deep spiritual tie, their energy fields, which you can picture as bubbles of light, start to move together. And this matching is so strong that it works according to the rules of physical resonance, just like two identical tools tuned to the same note. Imagine you have two identical guitars at different ends of a room. When you pull a string on one, the same string on the other starts to shake without anyone touching it. This is exactly what is called resonance in science and spirit. And it explains exactly what happens to your feelings when you cannot stop thinking of someone or when that person is thinking of you with power. This resonance acts like a hidden mirror of connection. It means that your emotional states can show what the other person is feeling in real time, even if you are separated by many miles or years of silence. The clearest sign that this mirror is working is a sudden, unexplained change in your mood. Your day is going as usual. You feel steady, busy, or even happy. And suddenly, for no reason you can see, you are hit by a wave of deep sadness. Nothing around you has happened to explain this drop. No one gave you bad news. You did not see anything sad. And yet, you feel a sense of being empty or an urge to cry that does not match your life right now. In most cases, this feeling is not yours. It is a message, an emotional weight you are picking up. What is quietly happening to you is being felt by the other person on the other side, and the same is true for them. The energy mirror never lies and works both ways. If that person is going through a hard time at that moment, full of no sleep, doubt, or pain over the breakup, their heart sends out a strong signal of sadness. Because your energy fields are tied together, you get this signal not as a thought, but as a physical feeling. You feel the weight of their sadness or their loneliness as if it belonged to you. Many people then say they feel sudden worry or a tight feeling in the stomach that they cannot fix. This often happens because the other person is thinking about the past or the future with fear, or because they are fighting the urge to call you. This inner heat moves through the hidden thread between you and creates stress inside you that you cannot explain. To find out if what you feel is resonance or just your own feelings, you must do a quick check. Ask yourself honestly, is there a logical reason right here and now to feel this way? If not, if your life is okay and the feeling feels like a stranger breaking your peace, then it is a sign that you are shaking along with the emotions of the other person. That is proof that their feelings are in a quiet talk with yours, totally separate from any outer silence. This link also works with positive feelings, even though we often notice them less. When you find your center, breathe deeply, and enter a state of calm, it is very possible that the other person, wherever they are, suddenly feels better in the middle of a hard day. Likewise, you may suddenly feel an unusual quiet, a feeling that everything will be okay, or a warm feeling in your heart for no clear reason. Perhaps that person is at that moment thinking of you with love or kindness. This understanding changes everything. You stop being a victim of your moods and become someone who watches the connection. You no longer judge yourself for being sad without knowing why. You see that you are feeling the emotional truth of another through the hidden mirror that ties you together. But when the power of this shared energy grows, when the need for talk or the thoughts become too much, the signal changes. It no longer stays as just a feeling. It looks for ways to show up in your physical world, tricks your senses, and leads us to the third sign, the moment when energy becomes almost real to the touch. If you thought feeling another person's emotions from far away was interesting, what happens when energy gets thick is even more amazing. We know that a steady thought is a radio wave and emotion is its sound, but when this signal reaches a high point, it can show itself through your physical senses. This is the third unusual sign, called phantom sense perception. It happens when the other person's energy becomes so strong that it breaks through the walls of matter and shows up to you as a smell, a sound, or even a touch, even though their body is not there. The most common and surprising way this shows up is through the sense of smell. Smell is the most basic of our senses and is tied most closely to memory and the deep mind. You can be walking down the path, sitting in your office, or resting in your room, and suddenly a familiar scent fills the air. Their perfume, the smell of their skin, the scent of what they like to use. The amazing thing is that no one nearby has that scent, and no physical source exists. The smell is quick, lasting only seconds, but it is so real and strong that you turn around looking for them. This is not a trick of your mind. In the language of energy, this happens because that person's thoughts are filled with a specific memory. When someone misses you deeply or thinks of you with intense love, they push their essence toward you. This push reaches your field, and your brain reads it through the strongest memory it has, their scent. Their fragrance is the universe moving hidden strings to let you know that at this very second you are being remembered so strongly that their essence has crossed the gap to touch you. It is a strong sign of proof that you are not the only one holding the memory. Another way this shows up is through hearing. Perhaps you have already felt what it is like to be in total silence just before falling asleep, and suddenly you clearly hear someone calling your name. It is not a voice from outside that others could hear, but one that sounds inside you, yet with a sound that clearly belongs to that specific person. Or you are in a loud place, and for a tiny second you think you hear their laugh or a word they often said. Just like with smells, this is the translation your deep mind makes of the mental message you are getting. The energy reaches you as a vibration, and your brain gives it the sound of their voice, so you can know who sent it. The sense of touch can also be part of this. There are times when the feeling of presence is so thick that the air in the room changes. You suddenly feel a change in heat, a chill on your back even if it is not cold, or a light touch on your arm, even if all the windows are shut. This hidden breeze is what the spirit knows as an energetic touch. It happens when the other person wants you so much in their quiet time that their intention moves toward you. Your energy field feels this influence, and your skin reacts with goosebumps. Such sensory moments are often pushed aside as luck or the imagination of a mind that misses someone too much. Yet, if you pay attention, you will see that these signs show up at key times, exactly when you are about to let go, make a big choice, or when the other person is in trouble and needs you. They are real reminders that physical distance is only a trick, while energetic link is the truth. Energy knows no walls and no time. It flows wherever focus is pointed. And when their focus is on you, your senses will feel it. It is vital that you do not fear these things. They are not ghosts or magic, but the rules of love working on a level that science is only starting to figure out. They are proof that the bond between you still lives. If you have ever felt that sudden familiar scent or heard your name in the quiet, do not ignore it. Accept it for what it is. A message of high importance telling you that the story between you is still being written in the silence that joins you. And now that we understand what happens in your mind and senses while you are awake, it is time to enter the place where all your defenses go away and talking becomes totally honest, the world of dreams. Before we look into this mystery, I want to ask you something. Has your gut already felt one of these hidden signs? Have you ever suddenly sensed a familiar smell or heard your name even though you were all alone? Your experience is a big piece of this puzzle. By sharing it, you help us all see how this hidden network works. Write in the comments what the strangest sensory thing was that you felt with this person. Often, reading about others having the same experience is exactly what our mind needs to stop doubting. If the earlier signs interested you, then what happens when you close your eyes and go to sleep is the moment when the link becomes impossible to deny. The fourth unusual sign that someone is calling you with energy is dream telepathy. This event is often the most annoying for those who try to forget. You can have a great day, stay busy, and keep your thoughts in check. Yet, as soon as night comes, this person enters your dreams with a clarity that shakes you when you wake up. To understand why, we must remember that your aware mind acts as a guard during the day. You have logic and tools that stop certain energies from entering so you can get things done. Your ego tells you not to think of them, but in sleep, this guard is off. Your logical mind rests and the walls fall down. In this state of being open, your subconscious is ready for spiritual talk. The subconscious is the most honest part of you. It keeps the truth of your deepest feelings. When this person thinks of you with power, they send an energy signal right to you. During the day, you might block it, but at night, it finds its way to your sleeping mind. So, it does not always mean you are obsessed when you dream of someone. Often, it is the other way around. You dream of them because they are thinking of you. It is important to change how you look at these dreams. Some would say it is just your brain moving memories. Yet, from an energy view, many of these dreams are real meetings. When the link is strong, souls look for each other on that level where matter does not get in the way. In this dream space, they can have the talks they did not have in real life or just feel each other's presence. That is why these dreams feel different. They are bright and leave a strong feeling when you wake up. Imagine the person lies in their own bed and sends their want for you into the universe. Their deep mind looks for you as a safe place. This energy reaches you and your mind turns it into dream pictures. You dream they call you or hold you. Your soul gets the message their awake mind cannot say. Sometimes it is even more direct. You might dream of them on the same night they dream of you. Or you wake up with a song in your head that means something to them. That is proof the channel stays open all day and night. Do not blame yourself for these dreams. They are proof the person has not let go of the thread or does not want to. But be aware, energy is a creative power. If this keeps going, the energy eventually refuses to stay only in dreams. It starts to affect the real world to reflect what is happening inside. At this point, we enter the world of impossible coincidences, moments when the world seems to work together to put that person's name in front of your eyes. When the inner signs happen inside you, the fifth sign shows up outside in your daily life. It may be the most shocking because it is based on real facts. We call this the synchrony of the architect. We know your thoughts and theirs are waves of energy. Now it is about how much these waves change your life. When you keep someone in your mind for a long time, the universe sees this as an instruction. The universe, like a master builder, looks at the plan for your life and starts to move things in reality so they match the energy sent by you and that person. A thought with emotion has a magnetic power. This is not magic, it is energy science. Like attracts like. And this is where the last secret is shown. Synchronicity is not a random event, but an answer. When you hear their name in odd places or find their favorite song on the radio, the universe is talking to you. It is as if reality shows the frequency of your bond. These events are not just in your head, but are real points where your inner state and the world meet. But the goal of these signs is not to keep you stuck, but to wake you up. When you learn to see them without holding on too tight, you become the boss of your own energy. You see that true love is not about owning someone, but about the flow of connection that lets two souls grow. No matter how far apart they are. And that is the lesson, to see that every energy meeting is a mirror of your own state. When you find peace inside, the world outside will bring peace too. In the end, the universe calls you not to hold you back, but to show you what real connection truly means. Beyond these 5 signs, there is a final stage where the connection becomes so intense that you begin to feel a physical pull toward specific places or actions without knowing why. This is often called the pull of destiny. You might find yourself suddenly wanting to take a different route home, visit a coffee shop you haven't been to in years, or go to a park you usually ignore. When you arrive, you might not see the person right away, but you will feel a heavy sense of their energy there. This happens because your subconscious is acting on a map of energy that your eyes cannot see. It is trying to guide you to a point where your frequency and theirs can finally meet in the physical world. This magnetic pull is the universe testing your readiness to face the connection in real life. It moves you like a piece on a board, placing you in the right spot at the right time. You must learn to trust these sudden urges. If you feel a strong, calm push to do something out of the ordinary, follow it. It is the physical result of all the mental and emotional signals you have been receiving. It is the moment where the invisible thread becomes a path. This is not about chasing someone, but about being in sync with the flow of the universe. When you stop resisting and start following this inner compass, you find that coincidences happen more often and the path forward becomes clear. This entire journey of signs is meant to lead you back to your own power. Whether the person returns to your life or not, the fact that you can feel them proves that you are a powerful receiver of energy. You are learning to speak a language that doesn't use words. Once you master this, you are no longer at the mercy of your feelings. You become someone who can read the energy of the world around them. You start to see that every person who enters your mind is a teacher, and every sudden memory is a lesson in how connected we all truly are. The silence between you is not empty. It is full of information, waiting for you to listen.